Why do they hate me? Joseph is no more, and then says me no more, and then the freaking Benjamin. You guys want to take Benjamin? It's like, Dad, Simeon's fine. He's in jail in the one country that has food. He's fine. Hello, my loves, and welcome to Joel Reads Bible. I'm Joel, and hey, look, I'm reading the Bible so you don't have to. How's my hair? How is it? I just want to look good for you. I just really want to look good for you. Guys, we're still in Genesis, and we are learning about Joseph. There was a famine in the land, but thanks to Joseph and God, they were able to warn the Pharaoh and set aside enough grain and food and all that for all the people of Egypt and actually the whole entire world in the area. Now we're going to see what happens in chapter 42. I should remind you, a few chapters before, Joseph's brothers sold him into slavery. They sold him to the Ishmaelites, who went and sold him to the Egyptians, and that's why he's here in charge of Egypt. So let's get right into it. As soon as you subscribe, thank you, and hit the like button there. Hit the like. Thank you. And watch the video, watch it to the end, and then leave a comment if anything strikes your fancy. Genesis chapter 42. When Jacob learned that there was grain in Egypt, he said to his sons, "Why do you just keep looking at each other?" Idiots. He continued, "I have heard that there is grain in Egypt. Go down there and buy some for us so that we may live and not die." Stop wasting your time just sitting there, getting more and more gaunt. By the way, /ugly, like a cow that is very ugly and lean and scrawny. Watch the previous episode and then you'll get that reference. And go down to Egypt, do something productive, okay? I heard there's grain there. Then 10 of Joseph's brothers went down to buy grain from Egypt. But Jacob did not send Benjamin, Joseph's brother, with the others because he was afraid that harm might come to him. So Israel's sons were among those who went to buy grain for the famine that was in the land of Canaan. Also, it's just like jumping between Jacob and Israel is a little bit annoying. You know, and again, this goes back to the guy writing this he has dementia because he's like, Jacob went in and then it was Israel's sons. It's like, whoa. We're just calling him Israel now or Jacob, like just one or the other. Why both? Oh yeah, was I calling him Jacob this chapter? Oh, why did I just put Israel here? You know, it's like he's kind of confused. But we also get the vibe that Benjamin is the new favorite. And Benjamin is also the only one who is Joseph's blood brother, like 100% like full brother. The other ones are half brothers. Joseph probably has more of a deeper connection with Benjamin. I don't know, might come up. Now Joseph was the governor of the land, the one who sold grain to all its people. So when Joseph's brothers arrived, they bowed down to him with their faces to the ground. As soon as Joseph saw his brothers, he recognized them, but pretended to be a stranger and spoke harshly to them. "Where did you come from?" he asked. "From the land of Canaan," they replied, "to buy food." Although Joseph recognized his brothers, they did not recognize him. Then he remembered his dreams about them and said to them, "You are spies. You have come to see where our land is unprotected." Now, just so you guys, if you didn't watch the other episodes, go back and watch it. But I will give you the hint that Joseph had a dream that literally showed the brothers bowing down to him. And that's why they hated him, because they were like, "You think we're going to bow down to you?" "No, my lord," they answered. "Your servants have come to buy food. We are all the sons of one man. Your servants are honest men, not spies." "No," he said to them. "You have come to see where our land is unprotected." No other creative way to say that. But they replied, "Your servants were 12 brothers, the sons of one man who lives in the land of Canaan. The youngest is now with our father, and one is no more." This is another moment where the text kind of betrays itself as being a fictional story. Because why on earth would they give all of this extraneous detail? Because I think you guys know what is going to happen next. He needs to know about Benjamin, and he needs to be told that. I don't know why they didn't just have Joseph ask, do you have any other brothers? That kind of thing. But instead, they're like, let's volunteer all this information. Maybe that'll prove we're not spies. Why would you? I would think that they are spies if they did that. I'd be like, well, you that's rehearsed. You guys rehearsed that. No, we have, we are all one family. There are 4 mothers, and then we have one other half brother, and then there was another brother who's no more. What happened to him? He was put in a cistern, and then he was sold. And okay, let's separate them and see if they all tell the same story. Yes, he was put in a cistern, then he was sold. And it's just like, okay, they've rehearsed this story. They are spies. They rehearsed the story. Joseph said to them, it is just as I told you. You are spies, and this is how you will be tested. As surely as Pharaoh lives, you will not leave this place unless your youngest brother comes here. See, why would they need to mention the younger brother if not for this little test? Fiction. Send one of your number and get your brother. The rest of you will be kept in prison so that your words may be tested to see that you are telling the truth. If you are not, then as surely as Pharaoh lives, you are spies. And he put them all in custody for 3 days. On the 3rd day, Joseph said to them, do this and you will live, for I fear God. If you are honest men, let one of your brothers stay here in prison, while the rest of you go and take grain back to your starving households. But you must bring your youngest brother to me, so that your words may be verified and that you may not die. This they proceeded to do. Joseph is having a little bit of mercy on them. He doesn't want them starving. He doesn't want his dad starving. He doesn't want Benjamin starving. So he's going to send back a bunch of grain. They said to one another, surely we are being punished because of our brother. What? Why would you think of your brother? We saw how distressed he was when he pleaded with us for his life, but we would not listen. This is why this distress has come upon us. You reap what you sow. I'm surprised they didn't just say karma. This is bad karma. Reuben replied, didn't I tell you not to sin against the boy? Huh? But you wouldn't listen. Now we must give an accounting for his blood. Hey, the Bible references itself. That is something that's true. Yep, it's right here in Genesis 9, chapter 5. And for your lifeblood, I will surely demand an accounting. I will demand an accounting from every animal and from each man too. Sure enough, 33 chapters later, we have Reuben going, now we must give an accounting for his blood. However, as far as they know, Joseph isn't dead. He was sold as a slave. So why do they faked his death? Why are they worried about his blood? Unless they think he would have died by now, but there's no reason to necessarily believe that. He was a slave. He's probably still slaving, which you should be punished for selling your brother into slavery. Absolutely. Hebrews should not sell other Hebrews into slavery or buy other Hebrews as slaves, okay? Other nations, we'll see, but definitely not Hebrews. So they should be punished, but in accounting for his blood, Reuben, calm down. They did not realize that Joseph could understand them since he was using an interpreter. Oh, and he didn't have an accent. Yeah, right. That's pretty clever. He's using an interpreter the whole time. He turned away from them and began to weep. Then he turned back and spoke to them again. He had Simeon taken from them and bound before their eyes. So Joseph is pretty emotional. I'm just not sure why he's weeping in that moment. Is he weeping because they think he thinks they think he's dead? Is he weeping because they did that to him? He already kind of knew that. If you know why he would be weeping, why don't you leave it in the comments? Joseph gave orders to fill their bags with grain and to put each man's silver back in its sack, and to give them provisions for their journey. After this was done for them, they loaded their grain on their donkeys and left. At the place where they stopped for the night, one of them opened his sack to get feed for his donkey, and he saw his silver in the mouth of his sack. "My silver has been returned," he said to his brothers. "Here it is in my sack." You don't want to find silver in your sack. Their hearts sank, and they turned to each other trembling and said, "What is this that God has done to us?" Now they're just like all programmed to be like, God's doing it, God's doing it, God's doing it. God's like, I have done nothing. I haven't even been paying attention, honestly. I didn't even remember you guys. I'm quite forgetful. I'm almost as forgetful as the person that's writing this book. But no, I don't, I'm not involved. It was actually Joseph, your brother. You remember him? Your brother? When they came to their father Jacob in the land of Canaan, they told him all that had happened to them. Don't repeat it, don't repeat it. They said, oh my goodness, the man who is Lord over the land spoke harshly to us and treated us as though we were spying on the land. But we said to him, we are honest men, we are not spies. We were 12 brothers, sons of one father. One is no more, and the youngest is now with our father in Canaan. That's not a bad recap. That's a pretty good, quick recap. Thank you. Then the man who is Lord over the land said to us, this is how I will know whether you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers here with me, and take food for your starving households and go. But bring your youngest brother to me, so I know that you are not spies, but honest men. Then I will give your brother back to you, and you can trade in the land. As they were emptying their sacks, there in each man's sack was his pouch of silver. When they and their father saw the money pouches, they were frightened. Their father Jacob said to them, you have deprived me of my children. Joseph is no more, and Simeon is no more. And now you want to take Benjamin? Everything is against me. And he ran upstairs and jumped on his bed, just crying, everything's against me. You guys, why do they hate me? Joseph is no more, and then Simeon no more, and then the freaking Benjamin. You guys want to take Benjamin? It's like, Dad, Simeon's fine. He's in jail. In the one country that has food, he's fine. He's getting 3 hots and a cot. It's fine. And by the way, I know we all think Joseph's dead, but we know that he's not. I mean, Dad thinks he is, but we kind of lied to him. Joseph is, he's dead, but he's not really dead. But we can't really admit that Joseph isn't dead because, we think he's dead, but also he might not be dead. But we couldn't tell him that because we were kind of lying to him when we put goat's blood on that coat, which luckily hasn't been DNA tested yet. Then Reuben said to his father, you may put both of my sons to death if I do not bring him back to you. His sons are like, Sorry, did you mention us? Did you just mention us? He's like, don't worry about it. Yeah, you can kill them. Entrust him to my care, and I will bring him back. But Jacob said, my son will not go down there with you. His brother's dead, and he is the only one left. I can't make another one because my favorite wife also died in childbirth. So if I could make another one, fine. But this is the one, by the way, this is where the line goes, man. If harm comes to him on the journey you are taking, you will bring my gray head down to the grave in sorrow. I'm not letting you take him. I'm not. So that's it. That is the chapter. Stuff happened. There were moves made. But we haven't gotten to the conclusion of this story. You're going to have to stay tuned to chapter 43. Oh my goodness. I just looked ahead and it's going to be a few chapters before we get any payoff. This is a long story, and that's why they made a musical out of it. Because as you know, musicals are always so friggin' long. No, they always have to be 3 hours with all the songs, you know what I mean? But it is another fun folktale. So listen, Subscribe and like this video, please. And leave me a comment about whatever I asked you about earlier in the episode. And we'll see you next time. Have a beautiful, hunky-dory, whatever day it is today. And then whatever the next few days are before I post another video. I mean, it's every Sunday and Wednesday, right? It's every Sunday and Wednesday. All right. Bye-bye.